Hi guys, so we're getting to a point in the new year where you're going hard with your workouts, maybe your body's feeling a little bit run down or sore. So I wanted to bring you some mobility stretches that you can incorporate into your day. Specifically, this mobility routine is one that I try to do most mornings, at least on the mornings that I'm teaching, because on those days I don't get to my own workout till later in the day. So I like to do this little mobility routine in the beginning of the day because it helps to wake me up, helps to energize me, and it just feels good. Remember, mobility at the joints is so important because that's going to impact all of our movements through our body. And if you have good mobility at your joints, that's going to help you to move better in life and also to keep your form on point during your workouts, to maybe push heavier weights, that kind of thing. So mobility is super important. All right, so we're gonna have 8 different moves that I'm gonna go through with you. You guys can pick and choose the ones that speak to you, or just press play on this if you're wanting to get a nice, just relaxing stretch session in, more or less here. We're gonna really target back, so spine, posture, okay, some movements that'll help open things up there. We're gonna hit a lot with like lower back and hips, right? Because those are regions that I know we tend to have some issues. So I hope you guys enjoy it. For this first movement, I literally do it when I'm standing in my bathroom at the sink because I got a wall right there. So what I will do is I'll face the wall first and I'll kind of bring my arms up to about this height and I'll twist and then use my elbow to kind of press against the wall to sort of open up things through the spine. And then I just rotate. So we're just gonna stay here for about a minute or so. Okay, and just really think about kind of keeping nice tall posture, kind of opening that chest, feeling that nice rotation through the core, getting that spine, a nice stretch here. And you can just hold for a few seconds and then rotate, whatever feels good. But like I said, I'll literally just do this as I'm standing at my sink, the wall that's right there. All right, so we're gonna stay here for a few more seconds and then move on to the next. So the next one is very similar. We're just gonna face the other direction. All right, so now my back is to the wall, right? And I'm gonna try to, well, actually, I'm gonna take the elbow that's closest to the wall now and kind of get a little twist there, sort of open that chest up. So just going from a different direction, having that wall behind us instead of in front of us now. So just enjoy that little twist. Keep breathing through this. But yeah, with these mobility exercises, it's great. Just kind of hold it for a few seconds and then move to the other side. Keep breathing through it. We can start to hold our breath oftentimes, not just when we're working out, but even if we are trying to stretch, because sometimes we really feel it. And it might challenge us a little bit, so we might find ourselves holding our breath. All right. Right, next move, we're gonna come down to the floor. So again, when I'm in my bedroom, I'll get dressed and then I'll find some space on the floor. We're just gonna work cat-cow. Okay, this is the common one you guys have probably seen before, but it's so great to just open up the back, all right, and work on that mobility through the spine, all right, and even the shoulders and hips a little bit. So we're just gonna focus on pressing the shoulder blades down and back, taking that tailbone up, slight gaze upward if you'd like it, and then we're gonna round. So you think about tucking your tailbone under like you're pulling your tailbone toward your belly button, rounding through those shoulders, letting that chin come toward the chest, exhaling as we release. All right, so again, pressing that tailbone up, slight gaze up, round it. And release. On that release, think about pinching those shoulder blades down and back, right? You gotta really be intentional about tucking that tailbone, squeezing the butt a little bit there, letting that head and neck just relax, and then release. One more here. Up Okay, all right. Next move, we're gonna come down to the floor, and all we're gonna do is lay all the way down. You're gonna take your arms out to the side here. You're gonna cross one leg over the other, all right? And then we're just going to rock the hips side to side, okay? So try to keep the shoulder blades glued down, and I'm just gonna rock side to side there. Now at the halfway mark, we will cross the other leg over top, okay, just because that might change your range of motion a little bit and how far you're able to get. Okay, but we're just kind of waking that core up and just getting a nice release through hopefully the lower back there. You'll feel a little release, getting those hips moving. Go ahead and cross that other leg over to the top, and then same thing. Just rock those hips side to side, keeping the shoulder blades glued down. All right, so now we're gonna do a similar movement, but we're just gonna bend the knees this time. Right, I really like to get some lower back release, because sometimes if I sleep funny or if I end up on my stomach, my lower back will feel a little bit tight in the morning, so I love incorporating these moves. So this next one, we're still keeping the arms flat, shoulder blades connected to the floor, and we're just gonna connect those, like glue the knees and the ankles together, and just let the knees fall side to side. If you can't get all the way to the ground, that's okay. I'm not all the way to the ground. My legs are hovering a little bit, right? The important thing is keep those shoulder blades glued. So if you get to this point and your shoulder blades start to lift, glue them back down and then don't go any further. That's just something that you can work on improving the range of motion for. Okay, but again, lower back here, you might get a nice little stretch you'll feel on the outside of the hip as well. Just keep on breathing. I'm gonna be here for about 20 more seconds. It's really common to have tightness in the hips and the lower back, so doing this kind of stuff can help improve any tightness you may have there. Okay, so let me see here. Next up, we are going to okay, so another one for the hips. This is one of my favorites to do from a seated position, so it's a little more challenging from a laying down position, but you're gonna basically bend the knees here. Okay, you can put the arms wherever it's comfortable. You can keep them out by the side here. And we're basically gonna try to lower those knees toward the ground, okay? But keeping the hips kind of square to the ceiling, all right? So trying to keep those knees at 90-90, dropping from one side to the next. You can do the same thing seated if you need to, okay, if that feels better for you. If you need to start there, go from that seated position. Yeah, and just see, how close you can get those legs to the ground while still keeping the shoulder blades connected to the floor. Okay, next up, we're gonna go to a glute stretch you've probably seen, but we're gonna add some movement to it. So we're gonna cross one leg over the other, right, into this figure four, bring it in closer to your body. You can, well actually we're not gonna interlace, but what you may have seen is interlacing behind and then pulling that leg in. What we're gonna actually do is we're just gonna hold it here for a moment, and we're gonna try to work some rotation into those hips. So we're gonna let that foot fall toward the ground. Again, you'll feel some stretch through the glutes, the outside of the hip, lower back, and then we come back and we're gonna let it fall to the ground this way. All right, you're gonna have to use your core a little bit too in this to lift back up, but same thing as those other moves, keep those shoulder blades glued down and just work that. Again, hips are getting some good mobility work there, as we're also getting that glute stretch. Okay, glutes are another one that can often be sore depending on the workout, but also glutes are often muscles that we need to strengthen more, especially if you're, and I'm crossing to the other leg this time, so we're gonna go half and half here. So go ahead and switch over to that other leg. Okay, good. Just let the knee drop gently toward the ground and bring it back through. But yes, our glutes are often muscles that if you sit a lot for your job, they might actually not get worked enough. And if you have weak glutes, that can often lead to lower back pain because you pull into the lower back too much when you're doing certain movements. Okay, all right, so we're gonna finally flip it on over for this last one. Okay, this is one of my favorites. Okay, we're gonna open the hips up right now. So we're laying down. What I want you to do is see if you can drive your knee up to about a 90-degree angle. And then just like we do for a cobra stretch, we're gonna press up. Breathe into it. You're gonna feel both hips get a nice opener, especially the one on the bent leg. We're gonna lower back down. And then we're just gonna alternate legs every couple of seconds. I always tease that I'm getting some sneaky push-ups in here. So that's not the intention on this. It is gonna help you to get that nice stretch through the lower back by pressing up. But you know what? If you want to just kind of go to like a low cobra, that's totally fine. If you wanna just focus on that hip opening up more, right? But when you take it up a little bit higher to that full cobra, you're gonna get more of that stretch through the back. So we're just alternating this. Take your time. Again, a few seconds there to hold. And switch. I was losing track of my timer, so despite the beeping, I think I went over on some of them and went under on some, so that's what we'll do one more on the other side here. But you guys do this as long as you need to. All right, we'll call that the last rep. Okay, all right guys, so I hope you enjoyed that. Again, I go through a very similar routine in the morning. These are just mobility movements that I have found beneficial and that I enjoy, but you can certainly pick ones that are more meaningful to you. And I hope that you can start incorporating some of this, whether it's first thing in the morning, maybe it's at the end of the day before you go to bed. All great things to do to help improve our joint health and our overall movement patterns. So, all right, have a good one.